Hello everyone, welcome back to me! How are you all doing today, guys? So, some of you may have seen that I uploaded a video that was basically this, like 2-3 days ago, a week ago? A while ago, whatever it was. Only reason, I actually took the video down, and I'm uploading this one now. Reason being, a few reasons really. First off, I wanted to repost this deck list because I've made some very minor changes, but not really enough to warrant it being a whole new deck profile. So I was like, well, that one's not. This old video is no longer needed. Let's get rid of that. Secondly, I top locals last night, so hey, gotta make a deck profile there. And lastly, I actually wanted to talk about something as well, which I will go to at the end of the video. I'm going to do deck profile first. It is a pure Dracotail list. If I keep itching my nose, I'm very sorry. I don't know why. Suddenly, as I started talking, my nose is itching me. It's itching me. Hopefully that does not continue. But yeah. So yeah, this is my pure, still running pure Dracotail in this list. I've made some changes, which for the last deck profile, which is still on the channel, are quite significant, which I'll get to in a moment. So first off, 3 mana, of course, nothing really weird about that. 3 Malulu, gotta be done, it's a starter. 3 Lucius, of course, obviously you must have them. Small change here, now only running 1 Pan, 1 Urgula and 1 Frixel, because I basically was, I know that statistically it's not that likely, but I was breaking on Pan every now and then, and honestly the main reason is because I wanted to fit in more non-engine. I just wanted to fit in 1 more non-engine, and I thought, what's the engine that can take out? I've got 2 Pan, that's doing nothing by itself, so that's what I went with. And you know what, I've not noticed any significant change, it all still works perfectly well, so it's worked out there. First major change here, I'd say the only major change actually, really big major change here. I've taken out Cartesia. I tested with the branded list, and it is better. I'll say that it is a better deck than pure Dracotail. However, I don't like it because I have a bit of an obsession where it's viable to do so. I like to play pure decks. And this is still a very strong deck pure. In fact, when you watch someone play branded Dracotail, sometimes they'll fully win games without even seeing their branded stuff. Because the Dracotail engine is perfectly capable of doing it itself. The branded stuff just is another way of getting you there with a few extras on top. You know, the branded stuff doesn't, it doesn't win by itself most of the time. You're using it because it gets you to your Dracotail stuff and gives you a couple of extras, you know? But if you can get to your Dracotail stuff anyway, then, this is my logic at least. I don't personally like it that much, but, that's just me. But then we have what I've put in instead is 2 King of the Swamp and 1 Poly, which you'll see later. What I did like about about Branded Fusion is that it's a way to get yourself into combo, a way to get yourself playing the game without having to spend your normal summon. And having to choose between Lucius, Malulu, and Cartesia was never fun. So now you only have 2 things to choose from, and otherwise you can do Poly. And also, obviously, you get the options for Red Eye, Dark Dragoon, and whatnot as well. Now, I do sorely miss my Snake Eyes Vengeance Dragon, because that was my boy, that was my flavor, that was my spice, you know? It's now gone, obviously, because there are no more tuners in this deck. I guess technically I could put the Magistus Chirozzo in here, but that seems like a lot of effort for not a lot of reward, so yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Super good, though. Anyway, something to think about another time. That's it for the monster engine of the deck. All Dracotail stuff, and then King of the Swamp, because I want to play King of the Swamp now. I like it a lot. Buttons over there. I might sneeze here. Am I going to sneeze? No. Hand traps now. 3 Ash. I actually was nearly considering taking this out. I do side it out actually quite often now. I even side it out going first, weirdly, because I've noticed that you can set up your very nearly full board and only give 2 Fua draws. I don't like it when they threaten 2 Fua. Then I'd like, okay, I'll Ash the second one, you know? But yeah, no, you can give them, you can go very nearly a complete full combo with only giving them 2 draws. I've kind of stopped using Ash on Fua, unless it's the second Fua. Because I'm just like, well, I'd rather actually keep the Ash in hand and use it on something that you're going to play next turn, you know? I don't know. That's just my logic on that. But yeah, if only giving up 1 or 2 draws, I'm fine with that, actually. I will happily do that if I can keep the Ash in hand or whatever. But that's just me. That's just me. But yeah, Ash Blossom, like it a lot. I'm very sorry, guys. I'm coming out of a cold. 2 Ghost Spell. Ghost Spell. It's very good in this format. It's good into this deck. It's good into Mitsurugi, and those are the 2 main decks. So it's very good. Good into Ghost Spell. Good into Ghost Spell. Well done, mate. Good into Yummy. I have taken out Ghost Ogre, which pains me because I do like Ghost Ogre. I think that in the initial Justice Hunters format, Ghost Ogre was a smart pick to put in the main deck. Because if you look at the meta at the time as being roughly, obviously not quite, but roughly a 30-30-30 split of Yummy, Dracotail, K9, Ghost Ogre is good into 2 of those. It's good into Yummy, get rid of the field spell, good into K9, get rid of the Lupus, you know? It's solid. It doesn't hurt this deck, but it was good into the other 2/3 of the format, you know? Those 2 decks, like Yummy Pure's not a thing anymore as such, and also K9 in general's taking a bit of a dive, unfortunately. Yeah, those 2 decks just aren't particularly prevalent anymore. So it's like, and Mitsurugi and Dracotail do not care about Ghost Ogre, so it's out of the deck for that. Which is unfortunate, because I like it, but, you know. 3 Droll, because we are back into a Droll format, baby! I don't like Mitsurugi. It makes me sad. I have a great deal of respect for people who pilot it well, because I think it actually is a deceptively difficult deck to play in certain cases. You can just kind of easily, like, summon Murakumo, get rid of it, summon it again, wipe the board, haha, win. That can happen, but to play it well can be quite tricky, to time things properly, because you're not always going to have the chance to do the Raigeki effect, and if you do, it's not always going to be the way, you know what I mean? Like, you got to time that properly, you got to make sure you do that properly, you know? So actually, I do think it actually can be quite a difficult deck to pilot in certain cases. But yeah, Droll doesn't really hurt this deck as such. I will say, where I've noticed Droll does start to hurt this deck a little bit. Not a huge amount, but it can start to hurt. If you're going second into Dracotail, and you can play through a Droll, if you have a Droll in hand, just Droll after they've had their first trap draw. Because that means their other 2 traps will not be able to... They either... Depends what they want to do. If they want to activate them for their strong effects, by all means, but then they can't draw off them, and also can't cycle back into the deck with them. So, or they can choose not to use them, in which case they're not getting the effects, and are waiting for the next turn getting the draws. So actually, I'm not saying use this against Dracotail, because it's not that good against Dracotail, but if you're going to use it against Dracotail, use it during your own turn, if you can play through it. Because it can actually really hurt their grind game, and it can also hurt that current turn if they don't have enough cards in hand to do anything with. They can't draw anymore at that point. It can be quite impactful. But yeah, that's where you kind of want to use this against Dracotail. 3 Veiler doesn't do a lot against Mitsurugi decks. Does still hurt Yummy to some extent, because you can Veiler their like Cupsy and then their Link one, and then it's like, oh well, if they do that, sometimes they can't play through that. Doesn't hurt Mitsu all that much, if at all. But it's just generally good. You know, Veiler's just generally good. It's probably the first thing to come out eventually, but it's just a good card. I like it. 3 Fua, because it's Fua, of course. And 2 Nibiru. I still like 2 Nibiru. I am a 2 Nibiru enjoyer. I hate bricking on Nibiru. And again, it doesn't do anything to this deck, and this deck is half of the format currently. So, like, yeah, I'm going to play 2 Nibiru. I'm not going to play 3. Then on to the spells. Very standard affair here. 3 Kitu, because of course it is. I would like these to be ulti, but if they are ulti, then it means that I'm going to have to get everything else max rarity as well, and that will become expensive, so probably maybe not, I won't do that, but I want to. The desire is there. 3 Rahu, because of course, and then 1 Poly. Fairly standard. Poly I like a lot, because again, it just lets you play without using your normal summon, can be very helpful in otherwise not very good hands. I like it. I was not a fan of it before. I've come around since, and I do rather like it now. Traps, just one of each. Standard stuff. Very good cards, very powerful. If you can set up your going first board with all 3 of these traps on the field, you're very, very, very happy with that, because these are very strong, and they all do a lot of stuff. I was playing around the other day, I realised this is a trap deck, because these are actually such a huge part of your end board. This is a trap deck. This is kind of like, this is what this does, you know? It's great, I love it. They're very powerful cards, I like them a lot. Extra deck, some changes here obviously because I got rid of Snake Eyes Avengers Dragon and whatnot. One Little Knight, still a very good card, easy to go into, clears up board states, like it a lot. Seal and Spirit, because that's just part of your strongest end board, they're fantastic, they're very good. One Typhon, as you can see I took out the Dingisu and the Zeus, I just wasn't using them very much. I needed space for the other fusions that I put in, but I also just wasn't using them. They came up very rarely, they came up for a while in testing and then not for a while since, so yeah, they're gone now unfortunately, but there you go. Guardian Chimera, because now with Poly you can summon this, and if you can summon this you can win, because it's such a good card. One Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon would likely be the first thing to come out, because I've literally never summoned it. But in theory, very good with this deck, because you can, if your traps are largely gone, you can get them back and start cycling them again. In theory, very good card. In practice, I just don't really find myself using it. But in theory, fantastic. I'm sure there'll be a time one day where this comes up and it wins me the game, you know? One Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, because you can summon it now with King of the Swamp. It is now your in-deck Lunar Light out to Liger Dancer. It's a very good card. I like it a lot. It's very good, you know? One Dragoon. One Philia Regis. It's DD Crow on legs. It's a very good card as well. Easy to summon in this deck. One Mysterion. This seems to have lost some popularity with some people, and then, like, people seem to stop running this, and then it's been slowly creeping back into decks. I never took this out. I think it's such a good card. It's really good into Yummy, into Mitsu, into Malice, into this deck. Like, if I'm not much mistaken, you can use this on whatever Phimena summons, if Phimena summons a spellcaster, I think. Because Phimena specifically has to summon a dragon or spellcaster. If you summon a spellcaster with Phimena, you can use this on whatever it summons. I'm pretty sure. Either way, still a good card. One Secretarion, because this card is just nuts. Weirdly, I've noticed, I could be wrong in this is just my own opinion. I don't even think Secretarion is that insane into this deck. I think it's good into other decks that use dragons and spellcasters. It's better for its reborn effect in this deck. That's what makes this really good in this deck. It's otherwise just kind of mid against this deck. It can be good. It's not always, you know? Just my own opinion there. 2 Gulamel. I'm on the 2 Gulamel train until I am off the train forever, because I like 2 Gulamel. And 3 Arthalion, and that's fairly standard there as well. And now for the side deck, some small changes there as well. Lancia is back in the side, guys. 2 Lancia, because Malice has been creeping back. It's also good into Lunar Light. I've taken out the Gamma Seal, so, you know, if Lunar Light comes up, I've got to just try and hand trap them into Oblivion now. Or, you know, I've got the Dark Dragoon as well. But yeah, Gamma Seal's out now because I have outs to it otherwise. Yeah, Lancia is just good. It's generally good. It's good into more decks than just Malice, so it's good to use here and there as well. But yeah, I'd like it at 2, just because I don't know that it needs to be at 3 anymore, because Malice is not every third deck you play against. So yeah, I like it still. I think it's worth putting in. Don't know if it's worth at 3. At some point, it probably would be worth putting in at 3 again, but there you go. 2 Meows, because Meows is good, generally good. I was on 3 Lancia and 3 Perulia. I've cut one of each out to put 2 Meows in, because Meows is really good against Mitsu Yumi, and I didn't really realise that until I watched the YCS Pittsburgh live stream, and I was like, oh, that's actually solid into this deck. That's crazy. And then 2 Perulia, because Perulia is really good. 3 Pankratops. Pankratops is good into this deck, I've noticed as well. If you're going second into this deck, and you know which one of the traps is going to give you the most problem that turn, Pankratops. Get rid of it straight away. It's very good into this deck. It's very good into Yummy, obviously. Yeah, I was speaking to someone at my locals about a month ago about it, and I realised, no, Pankratops is actually solid. I like it a lot. 3 Fenrir, because I basically just needed something to side in going first, and who doesn't love going first and just throwing your Fenrir down before you start playing? It's a monster that replaces itself in hand, so you can fuse with this thing in hand as well. Like, yeah, it's just good. It's just solid. There's nothing wrong with Fenrir. It's not engine, but it's just a non-engine. Hey, deal with that now. You know, it's solid. It's good. 3 retaliating C4, mainly for the mirror match, because it's just game ending in the mirror match. You know, you need to get rid of it yourself on your own turn, obviously, because then it causes you issues. But if you can, you just kind of usually win off of that, because it can be very, very strong just to slow that down in the mirror match. And that is it for the deck, guys. That is it for the deck today. Yeah, last night I actually played basically only against meta last night. I gotta say, it was very, very hard matchups last night. I gotta say, everyone played very well. Well done to all of my opponents. They played exceptionally well. I got lucky I had good hands, and I won every die roll last night. So I won't say I think I played well, but I also got very lucky. And my opponents just had the poor luck of the draw in that sense. But yeah, it went very well for me. So first game was against Mitsu Yumi. Mitsu Sulfur Cord Yumi, I should say. They did not manage to get the Sulfur Cord engine going, but she did manage to get the other 2 engines. Well, I think this is another bit of bad luck for her, because on the first game, she just had Mitsu stuff going. On the second game, I think I lost second game because I threw it and it was Mitsu stuff still. And the last game was just Yumi stuff. She could not bridge between the two, or didn't have enough engines in hand with it, you know? But pile of decks, what can you do? That's going to happen. So yeah, that's what happened with that game. Game 2 was against Pure Yummy, actually. It was a bit of a back and forth, but I think I don't know that we went to game 3 that one. I don't believe we went to game 3. I could be wrong about that, though. I could be very wrong about that. You know what? Truthfully, don't remember. But yeah, game 2 was match 2 was against Yummy. Managed to beat that guy very, very narrowly. He's a very good player. Game 3 was against my friend who has now picked up Lunalight. Lunalight is just it's a really cool deck. It's a cool deck. Game 1, I won the die roll. I went first. Set up a full board. She couldn't play through it. What can you do? Game 2, she went first. Truthfully, I actually really threw that game. I could have won game 2 because I managed to, I think I drolled her in her first turn. I managed to hand trap her otherwise as well. She ended on, I think, SP with a set card and nothing else. I started out my turn with summoning Dragoon and getting Malulu in graveyard. So just immediately I switched off her SP and had a Dragoon on field. Immediately, pressure, and half her board is gone. So it was just tough. And what I should have done from that point on is just build a board. Just build a board. Play. I didn't need to win that turn. I probably could have even if I just built a board, but I didn't need to win that turn. I just needed to play that turn. And then I would have won the following turn because she didn't have enough follow-up the next turn. But no, I got greedy. And I thought, oh, I'll get rid of that. I'll do Secretarion. Secretarion summon Big Dragon and get rid of Little Guy from graveyard. And she ghost spelled that. I was like, oh, I now only have 7k damage. And no other follow-up. And then next turn she won. So there you go. And then game 3 I went first and won because I had like full board and then drawed as well. So there you go. And then game 4 was against branded Dracotail. So kind of mirror match, but obviously they had like the upgraded version, I suppose. And yeah, I went first game. He went first second game, and I won both. I think I 2-0'd him. Unless I've read mistaken. Yeah, just look at the draw. Unfortunately, in game 2, he just bricked so badly. His hand was one of the traps. It was a Fallen and Virtuous, and it was 2 Urgular, 1 Pan. Just completely unplayable. Nothing you could do with the hand at all. Real bad. And then I don't think I had a great hand myself, so I couldn't do anything that much in my own turn, because my own hand wasn't fantastic, truthfully. So I managed to get up some stuff and some interruptions, some bits and bobs, but not enough to win, to close out the game. And then a little bit more back and forth, and I managed to win in the end because I just had more resources and more stuff than I needed, you know. And that was the game. That was what I did, and that's how I top locals with pure Dracotail, which is so hard to do because it's not a meta deck, guys. No, it's still like tier 1.5. It's still so good when it's pure. Like I say, a lot of the games you see being won with Dracotail are without the branded stuff, because the engine itself is so strong. It's a very, very powerful deck. That's it for the deck profile and whatnot, guys. Quick thing I want to say. that I wanted to, part of the reason I made this video, I was going to leave up the old video and just go, I won, I won't make a deck profile, whatever, but something happened today that I want to talk about. I have been announced as a commentator for the UK Open in Sheffield at the end of this month, which I'm very excited for, I'm very happy about. Big thank you to everyone who watched the initial stream and left nice comments for me, and because that's part of the reason they brought me back, because people were very positive about me and being very kind. Yeah, they must have liked what I did in the first event that I went to back in August. Yeah, I'll be commentating alongside Alex Robertson. I'll be commentating the UK Open in Sheffield at the end of this month. I'm very excited. Thank you everyone who's been kind to me about all that stuff. It's really exciting news. I can finally tell people, hooray, I'm on the team. Yeah, that's great. I'm really happy about it. So yeah, if you're going, I'll see you there maybe. If you're not going, why? You should go. It'll be fun. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the deck profile. Thank you again to everyone who's been supportive and been kind and was left a nice comment on the UK Open stream back in August, and it's all helped a lot, so I really appreciate it. So thanks very much, guys. Have a lovely evening or day, whenever you watch this. Take care. Much love. Bye-bye.